Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be adding the final touch to our splash page, whereby once the initialization is done, we're going to be moving to our main application from where we can actually transition to our login page, registration page, or home page, depending upon the scenario. So without anything further to do, let's get into it and let's see how to do it. So to get started, I'm going to go to my main.dot file and I'm going to create a class here, which I'm going to call main app. And this class is going to extend a stateless widget. With that done, I'm going to open the class definition. And the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the build method, which is going to define the structure for our application. Inside of here, I'm going to return a material app similar to how we did for our splash page. And the material app firstly requires a title. And as I had mentioned before, a material app is just a rounder or a wrapper around our application. It's a wrapper widget that encompasses all of our application and provides us with helpful utilities such as navigation, theming, and all sorts of other cool stuff. Now that the material app's title is defined, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the theme for the material app, and I'm going to set that to theme data, and then I am going to actually open it up. And the first thing that I'm going to define is going to be the background color. And this is going to be the same background color that we had used for our splash page. So I'll just copy and paste it in. Moving forwards, I'm going to do the next thing, which is going to be the scaffold color. And the scaffold background color is also going to be the same. And then I'm going to move forwards again. And the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the bottom navigation bar theme. And then I'll set that equal to bottom navigation bar theme data. And then inside of here, we'll have just one property that we would like to define, and that's the background color. And the background color in this case is going to be color.from red, green, blue, and opacity. And then it's going to be 30, 29, 37, and then 1.0. With this, I'm going to add a comma, then add a semicolon or another comma, not a semicolon, sorry, and do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. So now that we've defined the theme, I'm just going to quickly exit through the app that we're building and run up the final version of the app and tell you what refers to the bottom navigation bar. So if you go to our home page, you can see this bottom bar that we have. Well, this is what the bottom navigation bar refers to. And the theming that you can see for this bar is being done here. That's what the background color is being inherited once we actually put this widget inside of our widget tree. And it goes through the widget tree, it searches for the theme data, and then since it's defined here, it actually pulls that information and then assigns the appropriate background color to itself. And that's how the background color as well works, as well as the scaffold color, where our scaffold actually goes through the widget trees, finds the theme data, and then actually adopts that background color, provided that we don't override the background color within the widget itself. So now that we have a bit better understanding of what theming is, we can move forward with defining some more things. So if you guys remember, we had created a navigation service, and it's time for us to kind of do a bit of a link of our navigation service with our actual material application. So to do that, what I'm going to do is that after my theme is defined, I am going to define a thing known as a navigator key. And this is a key that states this is a key that holds the state for our navigator. And I'm going to set this equal to our navigation services key. And firstly, before I could do that, I need to import it. So I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to add my import for the service. So services, and then I'm going to do import, and then I'm going to do or in this case ./services/ and then I'm going to do navigation service .dart, and then I'll just come down and set this equal to navigation service dot and then navigator key, and that's all pretty much we need to do. Once this is done, we can move forward to actually testing out the implementation inside of our application. To do that, I'll restart our application, and for some reason it's stuck on hard reloading, so I'll stop the session and I'll run it again. And I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to wait for the application to run on the simulator again, and once that is going, then I'll resume the video again. Okay, welcome back everybody. The application is now running on the simulator, so we can continue the development. What I'd like to do now is that we have the basic skeleton for our main application done. So I'd like to actually add the code so that we can actually transition from our actual splash page to our main app once the initialization process is done. And where is this magic going to happen? Well, it's going to happen inside of the onInitializationComplete function that we're passing to our splash page. Inside of here, what I'll say is that I'm going to call run app again. And this time, instead of setting the splash page to the run app, I'm going to send my main app. And what run app is going to do is that it's going to detach the already running instance of the splash page. It's going to remove that from the application. It's going to spin up a new application, and this time is going to be our main app. And this way we'll transition from our splash page to our main app, and we'll just completely remove our splash page. And that's pretty much how it's going to go. So now with this done, I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F command save, and I'm going to reload the application, and hopefully it's giving me an error. So let's just see what the error is. Opening up the terminal, debug console, restart the application. And I'm going to pause the video here. I'll see what the error is, and then I'll let you guys know. Welcome back, everybody. So the error had to do something with how we had set up our navigation logic inside of our material app. And to fix it, what you can do is that for now you can comment the line out where we define our navigator key. And the error pertained to the fact that we had defined our navigator key, but we had never defined the routes that our application had, which means the different pages that we can go to inside of our application, as well as the initial page that needs to be loaded when this main app class is run. So for now, since we don't want to add a lot of complexity and take things one step at a time, we'll just skip the step of actually having a navigator key added, and we'll just spin up the instance of our material app without having a navigator key. So now if I reload my application, you're going to see that we kind of have an instant change from our splash screen to our actual main application. If I reload it again, just for a split second, we just see the actual splash page. But what I'd like to do is that I'd still like to show the logo of our application for just a tad bit longer than what it takes to initialize our application. And the way we're going to do that is that we're just going to wait for a second, and then we are going to move to our actual main app. And it's very easy to do. All I'm going to do is that I am going to go to my splash page, and then I'm going to go to the point where we have our setup function being called, and then we have the .then call. Once the setup completes, we do this. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wrap this function in a future.delayed call where we're going to wait for a second, and then we're going to call our setup function. So to do that, what I'll do is that after my init state call to the superclass, I'm going to do future dot, and then I'm going to call delayed. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give it a duration object, and I'm going to set the attribute for the duration object's second to be 1. And then following that, I'll say .then, and then inside of then, what I'm going to do is that I am going to paste the logic that I had outside. And then for that, all I'll say is that ignore the parameter that gets passed in, and then I'm just going to place the setup function inside of it, and then I'm going to add a semicolon at the end, do Alt-Shift-F, command save. Add a comma here as well, just for better formatting. And then with this done, I'm going to reload my application, and you're going to see that for a second we're showing our splash page, after which the initialization step is done, which is very fast. And then as soon as it completes, we call our onInitializationComplete function, whereby we go here, we call run app, and this time run app then detaches the already existing material app that's running, and it spins up a new instance of our main app, which already has a material app inside of it. And this is how our main application takes over then, and we have all of the stuff ready at our disposal to be used. So our services are registered and Firebase is initialized. So now with this done, we're officially done with this module, and I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next module where we'll start working towards actually building our login page. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.